Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Lacey and this is my art channel. It has been a long time since I've made a video, a few months unfortunately. I debated whether or not I should share what's been going on in my life, but I decided to go ahead and let you know because I've built connections with some of you, and I think some of you probably have gone through something similar, and I think there's community in sharing these experiences. That being said, I'm going to keep some details private to respect the privacy of the individuals involved. So back in February, I found out that a close family member had cancer, stage 4. I made a last-minute trip to the US to be with my family. While I was there, another family member became seriously ill and was hospitalized. Thankfully, they're recovering now. Flash forward to the summer, I went again to the US to visit, and a lot of my close family members went so we could all be together. But by August, my family member with cancer was in hospice, and we were all trying to brace ourselves for what was coming. Then, very unexpectedly, another close family member had an accident and tragically passed away. And within 2 weeks, we lost him and the family member that was battling cancer. Going through 2 funerals was incredibly difficult, so I flew back to the US to be with my family, and I stayed for a month just trying to help in any way that I could. And as if that wasn't enough, my husband and I also received some bad news of our own that same week, which added to the heaviness of everything. It's been a really tough year, but if there's one thing that helps me during these difficult times, it's art. And I know that might sound cliche, but creating has always been very therapeutic for me, and this YouTube channel has always been such a blessing to me. It's never been about fame or money, though I'd love to be monetized eventually. It's always been about sharing my art and my story with others. And I just hope that by doing that, it can have a positive impact for all of you, the same way that it has for me. And I just want to thank all of you for your support, whether you've been following my journey for a while or you're new to my channel. Your presence, even in the quiet months, has meant a lot to me. I'm slowly getting back into creating, and I'm excited to share even more art with all of you in the upcoming months. I appreciate your patience and understanding during this difficult time, and I hope that this channel can continue to be a space where we can connect and we can grow together through art. So that being said, today we're doing something a little different. In my last video, I created paper squishy blind bags. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put it in the iCards above. When I was uploading that video, I was searching on YouTube to see what keywords I should use for like the tags on my video. And when I typed paper squishy B for blind bag, I saw something called paper squishy book. So my curiosity got the better of me and I decided to look it up. And when I did, I saw these cute paper squishy books. They're sort of like paper dolls meet paper squishies. And as soon as I saw them, I knew that I had to try to create one. So all of the ones I saw had pretty much the same idea. There's a character in a house, and you go to each room, and there's different activities to do with the character in each room. And I wanted to try something a little different, so I decided to create a town where there's different stores and my character gets to go to each store to do a different activity. I decided to create this on my iPad using Procreate. The main reason I did this was for efficiency, because this gives me the option to print out the pages as many times as I want and make as many paper squishy books as I want, essentially. I also thought this would save time. I'm not sure how much time it would have taken me to do it traditionally, but digitally, it still took me a lot of time. On this project, I logged over 13 hours, which is crazy. I did this before I went to the US, and I remember trying to get it done before I left, but it just didn't happen. But overall, it was a really rewarding experience. It was so fun trying to turn my idea into something physical. So if you've been here for a while, you may know that I love to draw everything cute. But I also really like cottagecore-esque themes. So one of my reoccurring themes in my art is mushrooms. I do have an online Etsy shop for my art. It's linked in my description in the link tree. And there's different mushroom characters that appear from time to time. Actually, the character that I ended up using as my main character for the squishy book will actually be available as a die cut sticker in my shop soon. Also, if there's any interest, I may consider putting the template for the squishy book in my shop as well. I just need to make a few tweaks to it. So anyway, I decided to use the mushroom character in my story, and it only felt fitting that I create him a treehouse to live in. After I did that, I started imagining what kind of stores would he go into. So similar to the other squishy books I had seen, I chose activities such as eating, dressing, playing with toys. So I decided on a cafe, a clothing shop, and a toy store. For the stores, instead of squishing them all onto one page or creating separate pages, I decided to create fold-outs for the stores to expand. This part kind of reminded me of like a fold-out map. And then I created the inside of each shop. I split each shop into two. One side for the salesperson and some of the products, and the other side was for my mushroom character to do the activity. Also, there's a big project that I've been working on outside of YouTube, so you may see some of these characters in the future again. After I designed the entire thing, I decided to go ahead and color them digitally and print them colored so I wouldn't have to color all of them traditionally, especially after the digital process took way longer than I had expected. That being said, I kept the files separate so I could have an uncolored version in case I ever want to color it traditionally in the future. It took a long time to choose all the colors. I was very indecisive, but I wanted each page to seem cohesive and have a similar color palette. Something that I decided to do, which I haven't seen anyone else do, is the way that I decided to assemble the book. I was trying to come up with the most efficient way to assemble it. It wasn't perfect, but it did work pretty well, if I do say so myself. What I came up with was you take every page and you fold it in half. Every page that has a line through it, because there are two pages that have the props that are going to go on the pages, but those two don't have a line in the middle. The one with the tree is the cover, so you fold it with the colored side facing out. And all of the other pages, you fold it with the white side facing out. And you take all of the folded pages, minus the cover, and you stack them on top of one another, and then you just slide them into the cover. Once you do that, you can staple them to make them all stay together, and you can cut off any excess paper to make sure they're all in line with one another. Then each page will tape together with the white part on the inside. Once you tape two sides, you just leave one side open, and that's where you're going to put the filling. Just like my other paper squishy videos, I usually use toy stuffing, but you can use anything that you want. Toilet paper, trash bags, foam, pieces of cloth, etc. Whatever you have. After that, I taped it closed, and then I went ahead and put tape on each side of the pages. This is just because each prop has a piece of tape on the back so it'll stick to the page, but I didn't want the tape to rip the book, so I went ahead and put a little extra tape. That way each prop will stick, but it can be removed as well. I also decided to laminate my props just so, again, that they didn't rip. It did take a lot of time. You don't have to, but it is an option if you want to make sure they don't rip. Or you could just put a piece of tape on both sides and make like a faux lamination. If you made it this far, put a mushroom emoji in the chat below so I know that you made it. And if you have any suggestions of what I should do next, I would love to hear it. I love chatting with all of you in my comments. I'm going to end here for now. I hope that all of you have been having a wonderful week so far. Thank you for being a part of my art journey and letting me be a part of yours. I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video. Goodbye now.